うも以下もありません。サラ、違う、今のは。最低。二度と顔見せないで。
あんた、それはないよ。
What's good, anime enthusiasts? Welcome back to yet another episode review for Mushoku Tensei, the second season, as we tackle episodes 3, 4, and 5. And Jenny, how you feel? You good? You good? You good? I hope you're good.
I'm always good, yo. Having a good day, getting ready to talk about my new favorite character, Soul Dad Heckler. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Soul's cool. Elenice is here. Can't wait to talk about her, right?
I don't think anything could have prepared me for when she pulled up. Oh god.
Okay, if you all
Got a lot
haven't
to talk
already
about.
kind of noticed, I'm not high yet on, the second season yet so far. I mean, we had a bit of a, nice little setting start for episodes, 1. I mean, despite like the displacement of 0 and all the other things, but as we move on, I don't know. I think my critical analysis is about to pick apart this story one by one, and I don't know if I'm gonna. No, I'll still have fun. I'll still have my moments, but man, am I gonna like rip into anything that I touch.
No, and season 2 is definitely one of those things where you sort of kind of have to. I think, especially leading into episode 4, I sort of like lost any expectation of any sort of like background things that we were focusing on before, right? Like, I would have thought, oh, this is just going to be like a series reset, essentially, right? For Rudeus, right? Nothing else is going to happen. We're going to be all chill, right? But, it picks up. I'm glad it picks up.
It picks up in a different way, but the background does loom over it, and I have to wonder, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? That's pretty much it. Okay. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Shout out to Arky. Thank you for your comments from the previous video. We read them. We love them. Thank you. And for anyone else that would like to comment or don't comment, appreciate you watching and listening to us ramble on about. If it's your favorite anime, you're welcome, because I'm about to make some slash marks into it, for better or for worse. Episode 3, Abrupt Approach. Okay, I'm just gonna get, let me just get through it before I go on a rant. Episode begins with the Broken Arrow party and Rudeus, and they're talking over drinks. And Rudeus gives us the rundown. It's a bit of a time skip, as he's been working with Broken Arrow for a couple of months, almost constantly. And more people are talking about him. He's getting reputation out, trying to see if it reaches Zenith. And Sarah has been getting closer to Rudeus. And during this whole talk, Sarah opens up a bit. And she opens up about her father and her learning to shoot an arrow, learn how to do archery since she was a kid. And then in response, Rudeus himself, he opens up about him and his childhood past and learning from his master Roxy. And then the conversation goes on tit for tat, and then Sarah puts her knife on the table. It was like, hey, I want to get a new one. And she looks over at Rudeus. You want to go out with me to get a new one? And then Rudeus accepts. It's a date. The intro plays out, which is the entirety of the date itself. And Sarah does, look cute in casual clothes, giving credit where credit's due. And they go about their day, eat some food. They go to the blacksmith to find a knife, and they buy matching knives. And they go about the rest of the day. Back at the tavern, they talk shop as they're drinking more drinks. And Sarah's been drinking a little bit too much, she's getting more bold with the moves. She's getting a little tipsy. Her words are slurring a bit. And Rudeus is hesitant at first to see the situation. Okay, he knows what's about to happen. He knows what he can do next. But he resolves to put the past behind him. Eris, forget her. You know what? Let's go along with it. And eventually, through some subtle dialogue and signals, they both head back to Rudeus' room. And we all know what's going to happen. There is no fade to black. We see it happen. Sarah willingly lets Rudeus, and she wants Rudeus to, take her. Unfortunately, Rudeus feels something. It's a bit weird. It's a bit off. But, he continues. He goes on. And then he gets that stark realization. His little partner in crime ain't active. So embarrassing and so fatal. Sarah just gets up, dips, and she's like trying to play it off. It's like, it was just pay to death. It was that obligation. And then her last comment was awful. So Rudeus drowns in his sorrows in the tavern, and good old Soldat walks in, and he's talking nonsense. He hasn't learned from before. And you know what? Rudeus snaps on him, and he lets Soul have it. He pounces on him, punches him repeatedly, and nobody's stopping the fight. Nobody's stopping Rudeus just ball out. He is giving Soul all the answers you need. You want to know why I've been smiling this whole entire time? You don't know why I've been doing everything like this? It's this. It's that. I don't want anybody to hate me. I'm smiling because of this. And kudos to this writing. I love this scene. This is a response to what happened in the previous episode. And Rudeus is now giving the answer. And guess what? At the end of it, Rudeus, expects retaliation as he fully accepts the hell that he wants to come at him. But Soul apologizes instead. He's like, dang man, no one's got it more bad than you. And he's also willing to hear Rudeus vent and talk. And Rudeus spills it out for him. He's like, yeah, Sarah walked out on me. And then even Rudeus opens up about how Eris, was his first time and it left him. And Soul is such a bro that he listens, he attempts to understand, and he's like, yo, Rudeus, come with me. Let's go a night on the town. So they go to a whorehouse.
Oh my god. These two people, bruh.
So long story short, Rudeus and his entourage for the night, Elise, both of them try anything and everything to help Rudeus's, what he doesn't know now, his impotence. And they report back to Soul saying, ain't nothing happened. Not much we can do. And Elise theorizes like, hey, Rudeus might be frightened of women, and I wonder if there is one that he doesn't fear. I know a certain redheaded girl he might not fear, but she's no longer here for this current moment in time. So Soul's like, whatever, drink it up. And so they do. They drink and they wake the next morning inside the very same place. And the owner kicks them out. They're hungover, they're drunk, and they're just walking the streets. Soul does a connection and analogy between him going to the labyrinths and not rushing things to relate to, hey, take it slow with Sarah, take it easy, and go talk to her, apologize, and maybe she'll come around. But Rudeus, he says yeah, but he also just vents himself. He's like, Sarah, she's just a kid. She's nothing compared to Elise and other more well-endowed females. And as he goes on and on and on, and of course there's the comedic moment where Soul notices somebody beyond Rudeus. And of course, in this comical scenario, we all know what it is. Sarah and Suzanne overheard Rudeus vent, and Sarah just walks up, slaps Rudeus, throws down her matching knife, storms off in tears. And then Suzanne just shakes her head, it's like, that was out of line, Rudeus. And follows after it. So Rudeus falls to his knees. Oh, Rudeus. Suddenly he just picks up a knife and attempts to isekai himself again. And then Soldat's like, yo, hold on. Stop. Rudeus just dips back into depression. So what a Soldat does? He's like, yo, Rudeus, wanna come along with me and my party? And then Rudeus accepts. That's it. Let's go. Soldat, the bro to the rescue. Then after the credits, we get a small important scene that Ellen Lease, she overhears somebody talking about Quagmire Rudeus, and she kind of just sleeps her way into the information, and the episode ends. Yeah, Soul's a good guy. He is a good guy. Rudeus.
Bro, oh my god. These two were made for each other, bro.
No, they're not.
Yes, they literally are. I feel like as an intention of the narrative and as just characters by themselves, they were made for each other, bro. Okay. Do you have like a place you want to start? I have a lot to think on.
Okay, so you made the connection in the previous review that Soldat was like the stand-in for Paul, and this is quite almost similarly a parallel between Paul and Rudeus having their fight, and Paul not listening to Rudeus and giving Rudeus the time, and Rudeus kind of leaving the defeat. This time, Soldat, if we call him a much younger Paul, being like, oh, bro, I understand kind of what you're going through. Dang, I'm sorry I did all that. Let me attempt to understand what your situation. And he does. He's like, man, I got you.
No, definitely. So like Soldat, I gave him a rough rap, especially because I consider him discount Paul, and I still do sort of consider him discount Paul, right? But I think his push more towards understanding, like Rudeus from the start, right? I think that lack of pressure on him from like outside circumstances really did make me warm up to his character, even if he is still a complete fucking train wreck, to be honest.
It's weird that his introduction was like the guy, I guess not bully, but like the over exerting jock that doesn't push everybody around, but makes himself known, makes his presence like overbearing. But once you get down deep with him and you like share a drink, yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. I mean, he can be aggressive, sure, but like, he's got his own thing he's got to worry about, I guess.
No, definitely. You definitely get the sense that he's still also a young man, right? Very headstrong. He knows he's very physically strong. He may understand where the hurt comes from, but he won't know how to fix it just yet, right? And I can appreciate that kind of character, just being willing to stick by your side during these strange things. Even if he was calling you a little bitch boy earlier, as he did with Rudeus.
Yeah. So, Sarah.
You mean discount Eris?
Okay, at this point, I don't think she's discount Eris. I think she's just, oh god, do I say it? Sure, why not? We can make people mad. She was just a story beat, a plot device in order for Rudeus to understand that there is no other woman in the world for him other than Eris.
Dang, I think that's even worse than being called discount Eris. That's brutal, yeah. But no, I definitely understand that. If you look at the scene where they're actually going to bed specifically, I think up until they actually did that, like even in the tavern, I was like, okay, Sarah is like almost an ideal partner in that she developed feelings for Rudeus first, right? Rather than Rudeus falling in love with her, right? I think that's like slightly better for Rudeus because he's not trying to rush in anything, right? Or trying to satisfy any sort of urges. But the second they get into Rudeus' room, the mannerisms they exhibit are the exact same as they did with Eris before on the night of his birthday, right? From the awkward sitting on the bed to the shall we start to how he takes off her shirt, how he like slides his hand on her stomach, right? And how he takes off his own shirt. You really feel like he's just going through the motions here. That or he has no game and he does the same thing with every woman, right? I think if my guy has a million hours in all his dating sims, like he says, he would know that's not gonna work, you know. So this is just him going through the motions, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely him going through the emotions, but it's also the fact that when he said himself that, something strange, or like he feels off, like this is him. Yeah, he can see that Sarah is, beautiful and all that, but he's not like getting this sexual attraction. And that even comes all the way back into the previous episode, to where when he was on the bridge and he saved Eris from like tripping over, and when he got some underboob under there, he wasn't like, grinning from cheek to cheek, and like happy there. That he was just like stone cold. And I was like, wait, hold on, that's weird. And, when he's healing her up, and then when she's practically naked, his eyes were darting down, but he wasn't like getting all crazy. Is it due to his maturity? Could be, but also at the same time, he is more like reserved. But not even reserved. He's just like, hey, nice. That's it.
No, yeah, it's definitely not the Rudeus we've grown to know. Speaking of,
hold on. Before
go.
Before we bounce off to Sarah, so I don't think we have enough info on Sarah to truly make a concrete decision on her like emotional and love state for Rudeus, because right now this is more I forget what it's called, but it's the princess love, or like a rescuer's love, where if somebody rescues you, somebody saves your life, somebody pulls you out of a sticky situation, you are instantly attracted to them because of the amount of effort and help they gave to you. And your emotional response is that you don't have anything to give to them. So I'm like talking off the head of my head, and like through like other anecdotes that I've seen or heard, that probably your hormones build up, and then you're not really thinking that the appropriate award for that person is some monetary value. And if you don't have that, well, you got yourself. And if you're that attracted to them, kind of, and if you spent time with them, you're like, yo, there's a thing we can do. Let's get under the covers.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. I was thinking the exact same thing, right? Apparently this phenomenon is called, okay, so clinically it's supposed to be Stockholm Syndrome, but we're going to call it rescue romance, because that's like more narratively sound and a little less crazy. I won't lie. I do want to do like a deep dive on Sarah specifically, because the way she reacts later in the episode does indicate that she really does care about how Rudeus feels about her, right? And I think her walking out and saying, oh, this was just obligatory, right? I only did this because I owe you, right? Is sort of like her way of getting control over the situation, right? Where Rudeus could, I guess, if he really wanted to say like, oh, she just wasn't hot, right? And Sarah could be like, no, I rejected him, right? It's kind of toxic and kind of common for romances, specifically in fiction, to be sort of like this. If you know The Godfather, my favorite opening character is actually Johnny Fontaine for this reason, right? Because he goes through this exact thing, right? In his relationships with... Oh, okay, that's a lot. Anyway, I think Sarah really does care about, like, Rudeus, right? And, like, her slapping him at the end was her, like, fully breaking off rather than being, like, actual, like, any sort of, like, true obligatory nature, right? She's just saying that so she can have, like, control, I feel like.
Here's a funny thing. If that is the last we see of Broken Arrow, and specifically, like, Sarah and Suzanne, wow, did we really have some one-note characters for, like, the first 3 episodes?
Dude, exactly. I don't even think Soldat's gonna be here past, like, episode 5. We're never seeing any of these people again, right? If we do see them, they're fodder. They're dying instantly for the plot, right?
Y'all have to notice that we have spent episodes 1, 2, and 3 with Broken Arrow. And the farthest we've gotten was almost doing whatever we want with Sarah. And that is it. After this episode, and so far we've seen, we have not heard a peep of Broken Arrow. One dude died, which was the healer. Rip to you, I'm sorry. Sarah, we burned you. Rudeus burned you off immediately. Suzanne, you saw everything. You're like, yeah, you don't want anything else to do with Rudeus. And then that is it. Here's a funny thing. What if Sarah and Suzanne and the other members of Broken Arrow come in? Would they even respect Rudeus after what happened? I wouldn't.
I would beg to differ. Right? We know, like, this sort of like sex thing is very, very common amongst like adventuring parties. We got Ellen and Elise, we have Paul, we have Sarah themselves, right? It feels like broken relationships like this won't be the end of the world for them. Sarah specifically will hold that grudge, and I think Suzanne more cared about like how it was phrased and the way it came out rather than like the actual deed itself, right? And maybe that's me giving Suzanne too few dignities, I guess. But I think only Sarah will hold the grudge. Everybody else should be like neutral at minimum.
Dude, I hate to say it, but Suzanne is like the best character out of Broken Arrow. And then we got more scenes with Sarah than her.
You're not 100% wrong. She's definitely... Okay, I'm gonna say it, bro. I need more sisters in these adventuring parties, bro. She is so solid, bro. She's such a great character.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's the fact that she went out of her way to like reach out to Rudeus when he was in his state. And she continued to be the big sister / mother to the party. You know, it even said it in like episode 1 where she's like, hey, yo, I'm like the sub leader, but everyone just listens to me anyway. While Timothy is like the actual leader, but he's like passive and like, and he's nice and passive. But you listen to Suzanne, the quote unquote sub leader. No, she is the leader of Broken Arrow.
I love that. I love that we've given up on calling them Counter Arrow. They're Broken Arrow because they mean nothing to us anymore.
Oh, they are Counter Arrow? Oh. Whoops.
No, we shall continue. They are Broken Arrow. They have no more use for the plot and thus have no more use in our discussion.
No, legit. I said Broken Arrow because I put Broken Arrow in my notes. As well. All right. Speaking of something that's not broken, well, I think no, she is broken. Elise, episode 4. Letter of Invitation. So we begin with Rudeus as he's moving along with Stepladder, the party, as they're adventuring through the snow. And Rudeus, as he gets up on his rock spire, he spots a pack of grizzlies instead of the red dragon that Soul was asking to look for. The party intercepts the grizzlies after Rudeus bogs them down, and they start going to town. And then from the sky, a red dragon descends and attacks the party. The party attempts to retreat under the cover of smoke given off by Rudeus, and then Rudeus just turns around and goes for the counterattack after blocking a big fire blast from the dragon, and single-handedly he himself defeats the red dragon. Afterwards, you know, they collect their spoils from the grizzlies and the red dragon. And as he's talking with Soul, he's like, I'm not too keen on joining and staying with Stepladder for long. And he's wanting to go to the next town once his reputation gets large enough. Cool. So next scene, and one day later, or a day at some point later, while listening to a bard sing the tale of him defeating the red dragon, Elise walks in. She immediately flags down Rudeus. She introduces herself, and she tells Rudeus, hey, I used to be in Paul's party, and I'm a friend of Roxy. And that gets, you know, Rudeus interested and excited. And throughout the talk, Elise, she gets a bit too intimate. And then she notices the charm that Sophie gave Rudeus. And then Elise is like, hey, we're matching. And she also shows off a charm of her own, but it's of a different color and shape. Elise then finally tells Rudeus, hey, the location is Zenith, and that she's also a carefree labyrinth explorer. Cool. So there's no rush to go after Zenith. So what happens next? Well, Rudeus gets a little bit more information. He also learns that Paul and the others also heading towards the Bagger continent. And with all the information, Rudeus is like, I'll stay in the city a little bit longer. And as he stays in the city and Elise is like around him, he starts to learn of Elise's escapades over time. And of course, this is the episode where Rudeus learns of his impotence / erectile dysfunction, as he calls it. And then Soul is also doing business with Elise. Time passes, and Rudeus gets a letter. Reading it is from Genius, a vice principal of the Ranoa University of Magic. They've heard of Rudeus' exploits, and they ask if Rudeus wants to further his craft as a special student. The university welcomes him to be a special student. He'll be exempt from classes and able to use the library and facilities for research. Ooh. So, in order to, make sure it's not like a scam or a sham, Rudeus talked to someone to get a bit more information on the university. But after getting it, he ultimately just passes out on the invitation. So what happens next? Well, man God, hey, how you doing? It's been a while, right? Been 2 years, as per Rudeus says, and they talk shop. And it all boils down to man God hinting for Rudeus to enroll in the Ranoa University of Magic, investigate the mass teleportation, and if he does so, he shall regain his manly potency and pride. Cool. So, Rudeus, with that, says goodbye to Soledad and the party, and he ventures out to the university. And also the ending credits is just to spoil some characters that will be present in the upcoming episode in university. Now, this episode irks me because after watching episode 5 and then sitting on this information, me and my mind spiraling, there are some things that I never considered that are now starting to come up. So let's start with JD's favorite character from season 1, Man God. Okay.
Okay. Let's talk about my least favorite goat.
Man God shows up. Why? Why is he here? Why is he now giving Rudeus a hint? And through reading the light novel, I don't think it says it in the anime. If it does, I glossed over it. But I remember reading in the novel for the second turning point that Rudeus asks, hey, I don't know how we keep meeting, or I don't know why you keep showing up. And Man God says, well, we keep meeting once a certain few conditions are met. And then we meet. I don't control it. Okay, Man God. I see what you're doing. I see what you're playing. So you know what? I went back to season 1 and I noted down each and every instance of why Man God appeared and what's like the general feel of it. And I boiled it down to like 3 things. 1, Man God appears to steer Rudeus in a direction with hints. Case in point, he tells Rudeus, hey, when you wake up, there's going to be a spurt. You're going to help him out and you're going to go along with him. Cool. Well, it's to give Rudeus like a sense of direction when he doesn't know what to do. The second instance is that it's to redirect Rudeus when he was on the right path, but he walks away from it. Case in point, when he saw the job for the pet finding back in the demon continent, he first rejected it because why would we want to do something simple job? We want to do something big. Let's go find another way to make money. Man God appears and says, hey, take that pet job. And he does. This is also the same instance to where Rudeus rejected and going to the university, and Man God says, hey, go to the university. And the third instance is an emergency / on deathbed, and that is that's Rudeus meeting with the Dragon God. So currently that's my working theory on the conditions that met. 1, Rudeus doesn't know what to do. Man God appears and gives him a direction to go in through vague hints. Second, Rudeus is on the right path, but he walks away from it, and Man God puts him back on that path. Third is the one emergency case where Rudeus kind of like was on his deathbed, and he gets to meet Man God / talk with God, and that's pretty much it. What do you think, JD? Am I cooking?
You are cooking, but we need to add a fifth category for specifically to fuck with Rudeus for no reason.
I guess. I mean, that's like part of like them talking anyway, so it's baked in.
You're right. Good point. Yeah, because Man God was not anywhere in Rudeus's mind for 2 years while he was going through the worst time of his life. Can we call him fake? Yes, absolutely. Do we hate Man God? Yes, absolutely. Does he have a point and want us to get on with it? I think so. I feel like Man God is maybe a little bit forced as a narrative device, right? I could say the same thing about the Falera at the end of episode 3 between Sarah and Rudeus being also a little bit quote-unquote forced, but I feel like Man God just has like so much more sway over the narrative than like everything else, and that's might be why I dislike him so much, right? It's like you're not even being subtle, you're just pushing people, dude, you know?
Yeah, he is the arrow, he is the street sign that says go over here, and we do go over there and we get along with the story. I do like that comparison that you said of this at the ending with Sarah. That's kind of like forced so that we move away from counter arrow, so that now that we're with stepladder and we can go on to the next thing, because we might have just stayed with counter arrows at the entire time, and they're probably thinking like, oh, let's just introduce a new character, a new scene, let's just move on from there, right? Maybe.
By the way, we gotta say it. Sold at Heckler. Saw that Heckler. A character designed to bully Rudeus. Saw that Heckler. Stepped ladder. Rudeus joins for a little bit, one episode, and then leaves in the next.
Okay.
Step ladder.
Okay, sure. Naming conventions, all that. It's cool. Speaking of, I like to mention, you reminded me. I answered a comment on one of our episodes that somebody said like, yeah, about the adventure of season 1. And then there was a point in season 1 where I thought about, hey, there's a pattern to the amount of episodes that we spend in one place. So in episodes 1 through 4 of season 1, we stay in Bruna Village. And then from 5 to 8, we stay in Eris's hometown to deal with her. Turning point happens, and then we go to the Demon Continent. Well, how long do we stay in the Demon Continent specifically? Well, we stay in there for like 3 episodes. And then after that, we get off the Demon Continent, and we're in it's losing me, but you see from there we spend some time in another place, and you kind of get the adventure and vibe kind of fits, but also it's kind of weird because we spend 2 episodes in the Great Forest, 1 episode we spend in jail for like half the episode, and then the second episode we literally just spend the time spinning our wheels because it's flooded in the Great Forest. And then we go over to Millis. Well, we spend 2 episodes in Millis because in the first episode we get there, we meet Paul, we get shot down, and we've had the fight, and then the second episode after that we make up with Paul going into the tavern, and then after that we just leave Millis. We go on somewhere else. We don't stay in one place for too long.
That's a great catch, because it feels like just enough time to like sort of establish the setting and make it feel like more than just a set piece, right? But not enough that it overstays its welcome. Which makes me want to ask, do you feel like the first 4 episodes of season 2 could have been like their own like half season or something like that?
Yes. So now that we are actually at the end of episode 4, and I believe we talked about this off screen, right? That the first 4 episodes is quite literally season 1.5, and it's our jumping off point in order for us to get into the actual second season, which starts at episode 5. And yeah, that's cool, but it's also, as we case in point in season 1, we stay in this snow place in the northern lands for 4 episodes. What are we doing here? Rudeus is trying to recover from being burned by Eris. He is now trying to build his reputation and his own skills and his own body, just in case that Zenith will meet with him as he's spreading his name. And he's doing so. Well, we're kind of not going anywhere with this. And so Rudeus is just kind of like sitting in one place, and he kind of needs to leave, but he doesn't know how to leave by himself. So what happens? Elenice comes in and she says, hey, oh God, everybody, I'm going to get into my next point with this. Elenice comes in to Rudeus and says, hey, I know where Zenith is. Zenith is over here. And Rudeus is like, okay, cool. My mother is a carefree labyrinth explorer. Huh, I ain't gotta worry about her too much. I'll stick in this town a little bit more, what's going on. And then another thing that tries to get Rudeus out, he says, hey, you wanna go to the Ranoa University of Magic? We seen you, we know of you, and we got a recommendation for Roxy. Cool. And Rudeus is like, I don't really want to go. I just need to like focus on, getting up my rep. Man God comes in. Hey, go to the university. Now here is the unfortunate thing with this, right? We don't care about Zenith anymore now. We're going to university. All that drama and worry about if Zenith is alive or not is completely gone like a candle, snuffed out. She's just a carefree labyrinth explorer. That's cool, and that makes sense because, hey, she used to be an adventurer. She retired, but now she's like carefree and she's strong. Oh, what was the point of like searching for her now?
No, I completely get it, right? And I will say, it was sort of foreshadowed that both Paul and Geese and Roxy would all get an idea of where Zenith was before Rudeus, right? Since Rudeus is doing pretty much all of his searching on his own, right? I don't actually have a big issue with Zenith taking to the back burner now that Rudeus knows that she's safe, right? I think the fact that Rudeus was still willing to go like, hey, I don't want to go to magic school right now, I want to save Zenith, right? And it takes full divine intervention from Man God to get him back onto it. I think that's enough lip service for that sort of narrative thread for me to be like content with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, I'm making slashes in this season, man. I'm taking all the jabs that I see. Second jab, that red dragon. Remember when Dragon God said, "Hey, Rudeus, your mana might be on par with the demon god Lapis." So much for a red dragon. Rudeus, you are now just as powerful as one of the 7 great powers, since you did just single-handedly defeat a red dragon. And don't give me that BS of saying that dragon was weak. That dragon was not weak. He was not weakened. He did not have like a bow-legged. That dude came in swinging his tail and his claws, everything. He blasted you with fire. You were strong enough to put up that water ball shield, and then you threw some rocks to kill him. Saint class water mage. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, man. And I wonder, is there going to be like a sliding scale? Maybe no, it was Ruchard. Ruchard said, oh, even one of the 7 like best fighters in the world would have trouble taking on a dragon, right? Rudeus just did that. So they either got to make that dragon weak, like you said, quote unquote. Maybe it's like a young dragon. It's not a real dragon, right?
Oh,
maybe Rudeus is just him, right? Or something like that.
It's the second thing. Rudeus is just him. There is no way you are gonna give me and talk up the red dragons like that and be like, yeah, nah, he was weakened. He got a bow-legged. Show me, animators. Show me how weakened he was.
Bro, I don't think Rudeus got it like that. I don't think this is an earned win.
Oh, God. Okay.
But it is interesting that they use a dragon specifically there. I was thinking that they would like lean back on that so that oh no, I forgot the dragon's name.
Orts?
Yeah, Ortiz. I thought they would lean back on that so that he could have that iconography about him, right? Save him for when Rudeus inevitably has to run it back against him.
Possibly. You know what? Let's. Okay, Elenice. All right, let's. I'm gonna be real with all of you. I don't care much for Elenice. I really don't. As far as our showing is episode 4, and we actually get to see her more of her, and it's not really spoiling, but what we now know about her at the beginning of episode 5. Cool. I now don't really care much for her.
Yeah, that was sort of like the only question I could ever have about her character, right? She does have a lot of charisma, right? And you can tell that when she talks to people, right? And I think specifically with her talk with Rudeus, you can tell she is very used to using her body and like her playful mannerisms to sort of interrogate the person in front of them, right? Like Rudeus, he can't get it up right now, but like I think that clarity of like, oh, I can't even be aroused by this, right? Really did key me in on just how hard she's pressing for information. You know what I mean?
I thought she would like have like some kind of like thievery or roguish like antics, because when she did get close to Rudeus and placed her hand on his chest and like dug into his coat, I was like, oh, she's gonna steal something. Oh, is that what she's doing this whole entire time? She's sleeping with all these dudes to steal the things. Okay, that makes more sense. I can get behind this. No, that's not it. She was just feeling him up. That's all.
Well, I mean, it still could be it. How interesting would it be if Ellen and Elise did actually steal their wallet, and then after they do the deed, right, she pays them with their own gold, right? And that's how she like sustains herself while they're chatting.
No, she pays them to be like, hey, yo, you can't fall in love with me or else. That's it. That's what she did to Soul. She paid Soul she paid Soul to sleep with her.
No, I get it, but like, I almost want a headcanon. This is completely trash, by the way. If anybody asks, I hate headcanons typically, but I headcanon like, oh, she goes in, steals their wallets while they're like oogling her, right? And then she pays them with their own gold. So it's like a net win for her.
Hope that's the case. Oh man. Okay. Last thing. What do you? So when she touches Sophie's charm and then she presents her own, that has to be like a very important like elf thing or ritualistic elf thing to be done. Because when Elenice like touched that charm, her like whole demeanor completely changed. It's almost as if I think like maybe like Sophie inadvertently just claimed Rudeus, and now all other female elves who see this charm be like, oh, okay, I shouldn't mess with this person or something of that matter. I don't know.
Wait, but Sophie gave that to Rudeus when they were super young, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, inadvertently. Like Sophie didn't know. Maybe she like learned it from we don't I forget whether her mother or her father is the elf in the relationship. But maybe she learned from her parents that, hey, this is what you do when you like somebody really much, or like you want to protect somebody for the rest of their life. You give them this charm, but that's probably like a new meaning. But the old meaning for like all the other older elves means something so much more as a different meaning. I don't know. The charm means something. That's what matters to me.
No, definitely. I really hope our girl Sophie is able to shine some light on this for us.
Only time will tell. Speaking of Sophie, I mean Fitz.
My goat Fitz.
Episode 5, Ranoa University of Magic. So, Rudeus and Elenice, they released the Ranoa University of Magic. And at the beginning of this, we also learn why Elenice sleeps with all these guys. She has a curse. Unless she has sex with men on the regular. No specifics on that. She probably dies or something, one of those. We don't know. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that we get a new intro for the season. Cool. Then, after that, the two walk through the university and they meet with the guy who wrote the letter. Genius. So, he is happy that Rudeus wants to enroll, but Rudeus must go through a simple test first. And he's getting like the small tour before he gets to the test. University essentially does mostly everything, and also teaches everything, including curses. Cool. They get to the testing room, which is a dueling area with a bunch of the other students in attendance. And Genius also says, hey, we do have another mage who does not use incantations. And we see Fitz! Both Rudeus and Fitz greet each other and they talk for a second or two. And then they have their little duel incantations. The duel is short. Fitz starts with a water spell. Rudeus encounters with disturbed magic. He then follows up with his rock spikes Quagmire Rudeus, and he knocks Fitz down. Duel's over. That is it. Everyone is in attendance is shocked and curious and amazed at disturbed magic. So Rudeus helps Fitz up and promises to repay Fitz for quote unquote letting him win. Sure. So time passes and Rudeus is officially enrolled in the university, and he's kind of like a researcher, as he doesn't have to attend classes except for homeroom once a month. Elenice also gets her school outfit, and they all head to the dining hall to hear a speech from the student council. The student council is headed by the second princess, Ariel. Ooh, we've seen her before in episode 0, and she has Luke and Fitz at her side. Nice. She gives a speech. It's the usual opening ceremony, boring stuff. Nothing real meaty here. Real meat is when Rudeus heads over to his homeroom, possibly, and he meets his other classmates. Smash Ultimate, everyone is here. We first meet and speak to Zanoba, who is very excited and happy to see Rudeus. Cool. We next meet two beast folk. First one is Linnea Deldoa, the daughter of the war chief of the Deldoa village in the Great Forest. And the other one is Persena, who says that she's in the same situation as Liana. And then there's Cliff, the genius mage that finally sees his rival. But he's more reserved kind of at this age, even though he still spazzes on about I am advanced level and all these sure, whatever. He mentions that he heard of Rudeus from Eris, and Rudeus has a small moment where, but it doesn't really go anywhere. Cliff's like, I don't know where Eris is. After that, we learn that there's one more person who's named Miss Silent, who spends all of her time in her laboratory, and she's also exempt for homeroom. Okay. Rudeus then takes himself a self-guided tour through the university and heads to the library, and he starts searching around for some books and tomes for a starting point to start his investigation. He then meets Fitz at the library, and they both talk for a bit. Rudeus mentions that he's looking up mass teleportation and tells Fitz that, hey, I lived in Brenda Village and it was part of the mass teleportation, and one of my old friends is still missing. Fitz then just bees happy and gives Rudeus a starting point to look into the teleportation. Cool. Next scene is Zanoba and Rudeus having lunch and conversing. At some point, Luke and two girls cross Zanoba and Rudeus. And Luke knows Rudeus. And he's like, I'm sad that you're so forgetful. What? Luke is also a bit mad or kind of frustrated that Rudeus doesn't know who he is, and he reveals himself as Luke Notice Greyrat. And Rudeus doesn't seem too shocked, but he's like, okay. And then Luke walks off. Zanoba now reveals how much he actually knows. He reveals that, Luke was supposed to be is supposed to guard Ariel, along with Fitz. He also said that Ariel lost the struggle to become the heir appendant, and she is on here on the pretext of studying, because of her fleeing. And then he deduces that she might make a play for the throne at a later date. And then he talks about Silent Fitz for a bit. Then the next scene, Rudeus is taking a walk through like some dorm room area or place on the outside. And then a pair of panties float down from the sky. And then there's a comical scene of Rudeus being harassed and accused of being a pervert and a thief by all the other girls, especially getting pressed by the giant one, Goliath. And then who comes to his rescue? Fitz comes down, defends Rudeus, having his back, and even threatening to use magic against the other girls. And the other girls do eventually leave, giving way for Fitz to deal with Rudeus. And the very last scene is Fitz and Rudeus sitting together as Fitz heals up Rudeus. They talk for a moment, but it's mostly Rudeus fully accepting and giving Fitz full respect for saving him, and thanks Fitz for his assistance. And as Fitz leaves, Rudeus gets a little smitten, and the episode ends. JD, there is so much I want to say about this episode.
Yo, honestly, I'll start, bruh. Fitz, Sophie, please marry me instead of Rudeus. Please, bro.
Please tell me how and why Rudeus missed like 5 to 7 signs that is Sophie. You really. Oh my god.
Alright, let's list them out. The wand, right? First.
That is your wand. The wand you gave out, dude. You touched Fitz's hands. Girly, small, sure. Oh my god. I don't want to.
I think, okay, maybe this can't be a thing for the whole season. I know it won't. It'll be maybe a thing for 3 episodes, and then Fitz will reveal, right? Because this isn't like a long-term romance anime, right? I can at least be comfortable with that, right? I think what I care about most, and I'm jumping straight to the end, I feel like this was like a good opener episode to the season, even though the season was already open, but you know what I mean. Fitz's willingness to keep that secret, like, oh, I am Fitz here, you don't have to know me as Sophie here, I'll keep your secret, right? Type of deal at the end. That's so much faith for your childhood friend who doesn't recognize you, right? You can really feel like the fondness that Sophie has for Rudeus, even though it's been so long, and even though she's under the care of the princess, right? Really warmed my heart, bro. I was blushing twice as hard as Rudeus in that scene.
I will still get mad at Rudeus for not noticing, and for Rudeus to once again fall for the same self-inflicted trick. But you know, we're here.
Yeah. We'll get over the whole Rudeus doesn't talk to people thing pretty soon, I hope.
I don't know, dude. Okay. So the way Rudeus gets caught by all the other girls, I do not believe it in the slightest. What do you mean, Sophie/Fitz, that you were trying to hang up the princess's panties to dry? What do you mean? Look at where you are. Where are you hanging that up? And why do you have the window open in the first place if you're going to hang something up to dry? When you know for sure that at that height, that wind is going to blow hard. It's going to get into your room. It's going to go around and it's going to blow something out. You have magic. You exclusively use wind. You can dry them out with your own wind magic. I swear to God, you have a magical dryer in your own very hands. There is no reason to have this scene.
Wait, oh my god, you said it. The dryer. This was one of the first things that Rudeus taught Sylvie, actually, right? In the very first thing they met. Yeah, oh my god, dude. It seems like Rudeus isn't the only one who's been neglecting their magic lessons, yo.
Dang, dude. Okay, whatever. Sure, we can have a conversation. Let's see. If y'all know, comments down below. Please tell me this is an anime only kind of thing. This does not happen in the light novel or the manga. Please tell me.
Yeah, as we go further into the season, I feel like there's way more contrivances, right? And it's not that I really mind them. It's the number of them that's sort of getting me now, right?
Yeah, speaking of Zenoba, why do you know this information? How do you know that Princess Ariel is here on the pretext of studying, yet she is fleeing because there might be some enemies that she's having and she's gonna make a play for the throne? How do you know that? I'll give you some leeway because maybe you kind of know because you talk to her a lot and both of you know each other, because Zenoba, you are a blessed child and you have monstrous strength, and maybe Ariel knows. But again, both of you are on like 2 different levels of nobility. Zenoba, how do you know? Zenoba, why do you care?
Actually, okay. So I couldn't say that's a contrivance just to get Rudeus caught up to where we are, right? And I think it's only in episode 5 I appreciate episode 0 existing, because otherwise I'd be way in the deep end, not understanding. I don't think Zenoba is actually like a lower rank socially. He is a nerd. He is lowered rank socially, but like on a political level, I think he's still pretty high up there, right? I can see him knowing this because he is in a similar position, being kicked out of his kingdom for causing mass hysteria.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's well. The thing is like Zenoba's being like has been kicked out before or at the timing. Oh, the timing. Okay, I guess Zenoba would know if Ariel would leave before he's been kicked out. I guess maybe the timing on it is a thing for me, but I'll
completely get it.
I guess I'll let it slide for now.
What do you think about like the rules of the university in general, right? Barring the one rule where it's like, oh, men can't use the sidewalk after like some time of day or whatever the fuck that was to make the panty scene happen, right?
You're throwing darts at a dartboard or some kind of thing? I don't know. Make them up. Make them seem interesting, I guess.
No, right? Actually, we've seen this structure a little before. I don't know if you've seen Shokigeki no Soma.
I did love me some beef. I'm sorry. Continue. Go ahead. If you know, you know. I like meat.
Classic. So we see those
Wait,
rules.
pause.
Like,
Don't take that out of context, please.
it's too late. Flip it. Next short coming out soon, bro. So the rules where special students get their own ability to like have a lab, right? Not show up to classes, maybe hang out with the certain other special students, right? We see that a lot in anime. I think I actually like where this one goes, where it's like, oh, you're in a special homeroom specifically with your people. I think back in Shokugeki no Soma, you were pulled completely out of the pool, where it's like, okay, we're never going to see you on campus. You're going to be out doing your businesses. You're going to be doing research out in the field, right? You might be in a different country, so you wouldn't get challenged or anything like that. The once a month requirement for Rudeus and the whole class to be there, except Fitz, will probably be a good device to make things happen, right?
Oh, you mean the Miss Silent, not Fitz. Fitz is part of the student council.
Oh, wait, no, I thought. Oh, okay, that's another thing. But yeah, definitely. I think it's gonna be like a cool device to like make things happen. I'm expecting a lot of like the normal isekai school things where it's like, okay, tournament 1 week, right? Field trip pretty soon after. School blows up. There's at least one terrorist incident sparked by a student, right? And then what's the ending? Oh, valedictorian. Yeah. That's the flow I'm thinking.
500 points to Gryffindor. Speaking of homeroom, yeah, all these characters are going to be important. Cliff's there. I'll wait out for you, Cliff. More importantly, Linnea and Persena. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I saw them in the credits of the previous episode, you want to know the two characters that I immediately thought of?
The girls that Eris was training, right?
Exactly. Why do they look the same? That bothers me.
No, I thought they were like the exact same girls, right? Just grown up. And first I thought, how did they grow up faster than Rudeus did? Right? So when they were different people, I was like, what? There's no way.
Beastfolk Grossberg, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, if you... maybe they... I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that all the Beastfolk have this kind of, the dog look, the cat look, the panther look, the lion look, all that good stuff. They have that look. If that's the case, fine, I'll let it slide. But seriously, if you're gonna make the war chief daughter, give her some more details, man. If you're gonna make Persena this like cold shoulder type of character, give her some more details. Don't make them look like previous characters that we've seen before. If we really want to give them like the spotlight, Otherwise, that's just Torna 2.0 and her Torna's friend 2.0. They almost have the same like personalities and mentalities. It's Persona and her like quote unquote counterpart don't match that well.
I wonder. No, we know what they're gonna be like. It's rare that I enter like a classroom scene and see a bunch of new characters and don't sort of wonder about them. I feel like we have Zenoba as Rudeus' best friend. We have the two beast folk. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be like the quote unquote delinquent types, right? Cliff is straight honor roll, and then Miss Silent. Forget what I was gonna say.
No,
I feel like
no,
Fitz is like. Oh yeah, what's up?
no, you're going somewhere with this because I just thought of it. Like you're not really like that much into these characters, right? And let's scale back to like the premise of Mushoku Tensei in general, right? The first season, adventure. We're going to different places. We're growing up with Rudeus. We're doing all these things. He's being reincarnated. Cool. And he's trying to be a better person now, this new life. Second season, we're already in this new life. We're going along. We've gone from an adventure to Magic University. We're now in a shonen school anime. Where's the adventure?
No, you're completely right. I think the very essence of the season that makes it so different from season 1 is we aren't really learning anything new anymore. We're going back to like these classics of anime in general, right? And we have these not placeholders, but more like classic character archetypes being presented to us, right? And it's not interesting, you know? Like every school is going to be like interesting just by virtue of like how the power dynamics play out. But in some way, you sort of predict how it's going to play out because, you know, your MC isn't losing, right? That's at base, right? You're going to have some delinquents. You're going to have your best friend who's going to be with you the whole time. And you have your love interest somewhere in the corner, right? We're not learning anything.
And the thing is that the difference between season 1 and season 2 is the quantity of characters that we're getting. So in season 1, the main focus that we had were Rudeus, Zenith, Paul, Lilia, Aisha, Norn, Sylphie, Roxy, Eris, Ghislaine as our, and then Rudger. We follow mostly all of these characters in full. Now, are there important side characters? Yeah, sure. We had Saros, we had Philip, the mother not so much, and then we've had Roxy's horse party member whose name escapes me, Kish Kish, Dragon God Orts at the end. Also, I forgot Man God as an important character. Geese came in, and that is pretty much it. Yeah, those are our characters, and each and every one of them has been given time in the spotlight, even some of the secondary ones, to really shine and go through. Immediately when you see one of these characters, you're like, oh, okay, what are they doing? They're interesting. Like even the Tokoboro Toughs, those guys, like they got bodied so hard, yet you felt for them because of the situation that they were in. And even some of the villains like Gallus Cleaner, the guys that did all of those that scammed the pet jobs, you're like, dang, these are like kind of cool little villains and whatnot. But now we move to the second season and we've already burned off the entirety of Broken Arrow. I'm sorry, Counter Arrow. We burned off Soul already. We now have Elenice with her. Somehow, Elise, the person in the whorehouse, became a secondary character because, hey, Rudeus helped me with my sister. But now we burned them off completely. And now we're about to get a brand new set of characters with everybody in the homeroom with us. And we get Genius, the vice principal, and probably some other characters now we're going to meet also down the line. But unfortunately, we are now episode 5 in, and it's like we rotated out like a set of characters. Counter Arrow Stepladder was in the first 4 episodes. Now we're going to get all those other important characters, those being Linnea, Persona, Zenoba, Cliff, Fitz, Ariel, Luke, Genus, maybe. And currently this is our core 8. Oh, 9, excuse me. I'm sorry, Miss Silent. So now we got 9 characters that we're going to follow. Hopefully at some point we do not rotate them out and we get another set of new characters to deal with.
No, indeed. I'd love to see them like fleshed out beyond their archetypes. Yeah, that's all I got, man.
Oh, Jesus, I forgot. And also, because we got Zenoba in, we can bring in other characters from season 1 that we haven't seen before. So they come in. They've already been established. We're probably not going to see them. Well, they've been established, but they haven't been grown up to this grown-up age to how Rudeus is, right? So we'll probably get more out of them. But again, we're like completely divided from the adventure part. Dang, we are not. I guess
No, for real.
I did say we had a lot to say.
It's a start. This is a good road to the first episode of season 2.
I'm sorry, I'm not done.
Oh shit. Yo, cook, my good sir.
Alright. Rudeus is regressed in intelligence. Cause, okay, maybe not regressed in intelligence, but probably regressed in subtlety. Cause why did you cast counter spell without saying anything, without incantations, in front of not only the vice principal, but several of the students? And then he's like, oh, what? Was I not supposed to, counter the spell? First of all, dude, you completely countered a spell that none of these people has ever even heard of, thought of, or even conceived. I'm sorry Dragon God Orts just showed you the end game and you decided to copy it. But that does not give you the right to show it to these people in the present day and get them scared for their lives.
I did think it was kind of strange for Rudeus to be like, oh, you guys don't know it? Bro, of course you don't know it. That's niche ball knowledge, bro. Now everybody's gonna catch up to you.
It's in-game knowledge. By the way, I hope we meet Timothy's like incantationless like master here, because that's what I thought that Genius was gonna show, but no, it's Fitz.
No, definitely. By the way, Genius. Genius.
He's genius to me.
Bro, names in this season are so Ace Attorney, man. I'm expecting a lot more Ace Attorney names here. I'm not disappointed. I'm just mad that I can see it now.
I gotcha. Okay, last thing, we'll close out. And dang, I wish we say this for like earlier, so I don't talk about it now. But here we are. Elenice, her curse. How does it end? Or what are the specifics on this? Okay, she's got to sleep with men, maybe men specifically, in order to, not get bodied by the curse. But like, what's the specifics on it? Is it 1 a day, 2 a day, 3 a day? How far do you need to go? How long can you go without it before you feel the effects of it? I kind of need to know now, sort of.
Bro, it's so crazy how you can say like, no, the opening line of this episode is, yeah, I learned about Ellen Elise. If she doesn't have sex, she dies, I guess. Like, okay, sure. Whose curse is this? Why did you do this, bro?
Yeah, why are you cursed in the first place? How did you get the curse? How did you feel when you get the curse? Like, did some entity was like, you, Elenice, I don't like you. Here you go, girl. Have a nice day. Or did you meet some hag in the woods, be like, I'm going to curse you, elf, and that's it. I Season 2, what information?
Saying, bro.
I'm sorry, y'all, that we talked at that length, and like, well, me specifically, I am not that sorry for poking all of these holes into the anime, but that's kind of like what I do, I see something and I question it, like, why are we here? And this is probably Arky, like, behind us, like, leaning back in their chair, having all of their fingers pressed together, like, yes, see? The second season, a step down, not so much information is there, and all that good stuff. But I'm still here for the ride. Go, I don't know, I gotta figure out a character to cheer for now. I don't know who to cheer for now.
What? No, dude, go Fitz, bro.
Yeah, but that's too easy.
Bro, sometimes you gotta take the ECW.
Nah, Persona. I'm gonna choose you, Persona.
That's crazy work. Everybody spoil him right now in the comments.
I don't know, man. She burned off Rudeus that quick more than Linnea. She ain't with that like submissive stuff, so we're good. But throwing this over to y'all that have watched us thus far. As I'm looking at this time is an hour and 23 minutes of recording that will get reduced down to maybe like an hour and 15 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't know. It depends on how much of dead space I edit out. But y'all comment down below. Tell us what y'all think about the episodes thus far. Am I crazy for thinking of all the things that I am thinking of? I know we kind of bounced around a couple of times in the review of these episodes, but you know, it is warranted because now with season 1, we have this information. We get to make these callbacks. The anime is doing all these callbacks. So now we gotta connect things and think things through and see how they interact with each other. That's pretty much it.
No, it's definitely going to be a ride and a half. Hopefully they do stick the landing on a lot of these political elements, since that's really what I'm here for. That and maybe a few more Rudeus crash outs. I would love that personally.
If we get there. Well, with that being said, y'all, hope all of you have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. I hope your day is just a little bit better than it already is. With that, we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.
See y'all later.